Hello, my name is Elena, aka Minty Mito, and usually on this channel I'll do fun art challenges and talk about whatever's on my mind, but today I mainly just have a big announcement to make. I'm launching a newsletter, and I'll be sending out the first one in the next few days, so if you want to be an early sign up, just click the link in the description and you'll get to hear from me all about the creative projects I'm working on, what's inspiring me, behind the scenes of my YouTube videos, and my upcoming webtoon, when I'm launching my portfolio website and online shop, which is very soon, and just anything philosophical, personal, because there's so much I want to share and yap about that I'm not always able to make into a whole YouTube video, because YouTube is very time consuming. And that's honestly it. The video could end here, should end here, to be honest, but you see the runtime. Long story short, I needlessly agonized over the best way to make this simple announcement into a YouTube video, and I channeled that agony into some video diaries over the past couple of weeks. Making video diaries is a practice that I started doing in therapy. It's proven to be a very effective way for me to process my thoughts and emotions and get some ideas out there. And I wasn't sure if those videos would actually make it into this video, but I decided it would be good to share some parts of them, partially because I think they're actually pretty indicative of how I'll be talking in my newsletters, and partially because I think there's a chance that they could help somebody else out there. Maybe watching me overthink and talk through my fears about this newsletter, about this video, will help you put your own anxieties into perspective and help you realize that maybe you're like me, making things more complicated than it needs to be when you're trying to just launch a simple project or start something new. This is an art channel first and foremost though, so while you hear me yap through these video diaries, you'll also see some process footage of me working on the header image I'll be using for my newsletter, and it's just a simple illustration of Mio and Hana, the two main characters of my upcoming webtoon called In Memoriam, which you'll get to hear more about if you sign up for my newsletter. Okay, shameless plug over. Let's throw it over to past Elena going into an overthinking spiral. Enjoy! Hello. I'm not really sure why I'm recording this. I just felt a need to kind of sit down and talk just a little bit. I'll try not to make this long, but we know me. I know me by now, and I'll probably yap forever, but I can't. I have things I need to do and want to do. It's been a pretty emotional day for me for a lot of reasons, and I could get into it, but I'm not going to, because I've already sort of gone through it. I don't want to rehash, and I did some journaling and I'm feeling better. I guess all I want to say is I'm starting my newsletter soon, and along with that I'm trying to think, because I made a goal to post a long form YouTube video at least once a month every month for this year, and I'm really trying to stick to my goals, and there's only a couple weeks left. Actually less than that, more like 1 week. End of the month is next Saturday, which means at the latest I need to, if I want to fulfill my goal, which I do. I don't need to be so hard on myself about it, but I feel like if I don't set goals and try to meet them, then I just won't do it, you know? And I want to do these things, so that's where I'm at with that. Was just trying to think of what video I want to post this month, and this has been on my mind all month, and the month has flown by and also gone so slow at the same time, and it feels like I've done everything and nothing at the same time. But yeah, so I was thinking about the type of video I want to post by next Saturday. I am a perfectionist, and my perfectionism has held me back from doing so much. There is a quote in one of my favorite art books that I wrote in my sketchbook, Art Book Prism by Cosmic Spectrum. She said, "Self-doubt is a waste of your precious time." And that really hit me, because I am someone who has dealt with self-doubt to a pretty severe level. I'm not gonna cry on the internet. Those are manly pools of sweat that I'm creating from working my eyes out too hard. Well, that took me out of whatever I was feeling just now. Anyways, I've done a lot in the past few weeks. It feels like with my most important goals, I have not moved the needle as much as I would have liked to. And isn't that the story of my life in a lot of ways? I've always got a lot going on, mostly self-imposed. And so I think the most important thing that I do for the next couple of weeks is to just prioritize getting these things done by the end of January that I said I'd get done. And then after that, sort of reflect on the month, where I spent my time, what drained me, what fueled me, and do a bit of an energy audit there, and then cut out what felt too draining that I imposed on myself and do more of what fueled me. So I already have an idea of what those things are. I'll really reflect on it when I get to February. But yeah, this is all just personal stuff. I'm gonna work on building my newsletter, my first one. And I'm excited about that. I hit a lot of emotional points today that point me into the direction of this newsletter being really important to me. And it's funny because I got the advice to do it mainly as a way to like, oh, you need to connect with your audience as a creative entrepreneur, stuff like that. But with a lot of the newsletters that I'm subscribed to, artists or not, for the ones that I pay attention to, I get a lot out of them. Just really hearing from just someone's authentic point of view in a medium that feels really personal and poetic, I guess. I think people tend to feel a little more dreamy when they're writing, at least I do. So I just like reading people's writings. The hardest part about my newsletter is going to be me shutting up and not writing too much. I can't make my newsletters take 10 minutes to read. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I was originally inspired to do it based on what I heard from other artists who are trying to, run an art business basically. But I'm really more motivated to do it just to practice putting my voice out there. With a lot of things, it feels like I'm censoring myself. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like there's a certain way you must appear or act or say things in certain ways when you're on the public-facing internet versus I feel like these newsletters are going to be a lot more personable and real. Another issue is I think I tried to be more personable in this way, like on Instagram, and there's a character limit. I faced that with my most recent post. I was like, let me do something long and reflective here. And then it was like, your caption's too long. I'm like, I know. I need to start writing emails instead of doing this. YouTube videos are also good for this more long form sharing of messages, basically. But YouTube videos are very, very, very time consuming, and I really respect the art of video making. And so when I create a video, it's hard for me to want to just post a time lapse and then talk about whatever I want to over it. There's nothing wrong with those types of videos. I watch them. It's like if I'm just gonna post a time lapse, I'd like to be talking about what I'm making. We'll see if I get over that or something. So you may be asking yourself, Elena, why are you wearing a medieval princess dress? And to that I say, mind your business. I'm kidding. I went to my friend threw a medieval themed birthday party, so here I am. It's a rental. I have to return it tomorrow, so I'm taking advantage of the material. Essentially, I have less than a week to post a long form video to YouTube. I probably talked about it in some footage prior to this. I can't remember that I'm launching my newsletter. I've been feeling more of an itch to really express myself as an artist, and the type of artist I've been has always just been making pretty illustrations, and that's still important to me. But also, I really want to just speak candidly about my thoughts and my opinions, really expressing myself more and not just being somebody who makes pretty images. It's really interesting how, especially in the age of like AI art, I think people really are appreciating imperfection and humanity more as part of this pushback against generative AI. And so, yeah, I think a newsletter is a good way for me to sort of start that process of expressing myself more outside of just making things that look nice. I think making things that look nice is important for who I am as an artist. I like to bring beauty into the world and finding beauty in things. I think that that has its own level of importance as well. But there is more to me than just embracing things that I find beautiful. I feel a lot of ways about a lot of things. And if you want to know about those things, you can subscribe to my newsletter. I also really need to pee. I realized I did not use the bathroom at all today because I was wearing this dress. Yay! Yeah, is there anything else I really want to say in regards to what the thesis of this video is? I'm not sure. I still have to write the video, and I'm not sure how much of it really needs to be written versus just, like, it seems like it's going to be mostly a vlog type of video. I'm still figuring it out, but that's kind of the challenge of this week. The challenge is I know I need to have a video done in less than a week, and I still don't really know what that video is. And I need to have it done because of this challenge I gave myself, and I'm trying to prove to myself this year that I can make goals and achieve them. It's Tuesday before I'm supposed to upload a video supposedly, and I don't really have the video planned. As I'm going throughout this week, I'm realizing a couple of things. One, I don't really have all my best systems in place that I wanted to have by the beginning of this year. And I guess systems are always flexible and kind of in progress. I don't think anyone will ever reach a life system of productivity that's perfect, especially because life is life. The only guaranteed thing in life is change. What I'm struggling with right now is what systems do I need to build so that way I can make this easier for myself in the future, but also I don't really have the time to be thinking about that. I need to just make a video and get it done. And it's basically my bedtime. So I think I'm just gonna spend 15 minutes right now to just script an idea of what I really want this video to be. And I have these floating concepts, things kind of floating around of what it could be. I want to talk about the newsletter, and I want to finish the newsletter before this weekend. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. And I want to, I lost my train of thought. Maybe because I'm tired, because it's bedtime. Yeah, so I'm gonna spend 15 minutes just scripting what I want this video to be, because certain concepts I have in mind are, of course, I want it to be about me launching my newsletter. And yeah, I think this week is a testament of being okay with showing up imperfectly. It's also a testament of how it's so much easier for me to show up for things where other people need me versus things for myself. I don't know if I've mentioned it in this video yet, because I plan on making a dedicated video about this for February. But essentially, I'm helping my friends in Dolce. They're a pop R&B girl group in Arizona. A group of us who are friends with them have been trying to help them with their marketing and with a lot of things, really. I mean, we have friends who are good at photography and videography and editing and social media management and posting, making social media short form videos, long form videos, music videos, graphic design for the social media posts. That's mainly me. Merch design, that's also mainly me. And so yeah, there's a lot going into supporting this girl group that my friends have started. And it's really awesome. It feels really awesome to be part of a team. And I really do think this is something I'll probably talk about in that video. I do think it's my calling to work with others a lot. I always imagined myself as sort of a lone artist, and I never expected to get so much out of doing things for others and creating visual component for other people's projects, basically. I always kind of imagined myself working on my own projects, and if I was working with people, it'd be like clients for freelancing. Yeah, I've been really enjoying doing stuff for them, but it has been taking up a lot of my time in a way that isn't anyone else's fault but mine. I really do struggle with trying to treat my own creative pursuits as a priority, and I feel like mentally, at least, I feel like I'm in a place where I prioritize it, but I think deep down, there's a part of me that wants to keep putting it off. I think probably out of fear. That's usually where self-sabotage comes in. I guess the first step is to just know and recognize that that's an issue. And then the next step is to take action on that issue. And I've been saying all month, like, okay, I'm going to prioritize myself. Now I am. And then I keep having things come up and I'm like, okay, well, that will take priority just for now. But things will always come up. How do I set up a system in my life where even as things come up, I'm still treating my own creative goals as my biggest priority over all these other things that come up that I do enjoy, that I do still want to be part of my life, but that I end up treating with so much more importance than I need to, you know? Maybe that could be what the video's about, because I guess that's how I'm feeling. I really want to prioritize myself this year, prioritize my goals, and be consistent about it. I'm now in a phase where I'm like, I really need to rewire my brain, where if I want to get results for anything, I have to commit to it over a long period of time. So if I want to be able to lift more than 5-pound dumbbells while I'm working out, I need to keep lifting those dumbbells every week until I can move up to heavier dumbbells. And then if I want to be someone who's publishing a comic on Webtoon on a regular basis and developing my portfolio and posting YouTube videos, then I need to be working on those things consistently. The way I'm handling the load of that is, only committing to one YouTube video per month, which is feasible. Mentally trying to just focus on the actual creative aspect of the projects I want to do. So that'd be drawing the webtoon, etc. But right now, for this week, my first goal is to have my newsletter set up so I can have a space to talk about these types of things and to talk about and promote my webtoon. I'm really excited about it, about the newsletter. I'm really excited to have a space to express myself in that way, and I'll probably start out with a goal of just one newsletter a month as well. I like to talk and I like to reflect, and I feel like I do have some wisdom when I'm reflecting on things that I've learned, and I'd like to share that with people, especially people who care about my art and about my projects, and I think it's fun to learn about an artist's mindset. I'm gonna start typing away in my Notion about what I think this video is, and now that I've been talking about it, I think this video is about learning to prioritize my art. So it's Wednesday, and I was planning to work on the video I wanted to post for this Saturday. I started scripting a bit last night, feeling good about the concept, which, again, the concept was going to be about trying to prioritize myself and my art projects. But instead I ended up hanging out with some friends, and we watched the movie Twinless, and it was the best movie I've ever seen. The best movie I've ever seen. That's kind of extreme. It was really, really good. Really fun to watch in a group if nobody's seen it, and that's how it was for us. So I highly recommend it. It was amazing. It was 10 out of 10. Fun times. So now it's feeling like the video might turn into something else. Am I learning something new about myself and the message I want to try to send with this video? Because I have been someone who has struggled a lot with prioritizing other people over my own needs and wants and goals and life, basically. But I don't think I really do that anymore. And if I do, it's not in the same toxic way that I used to. I used to do it as a way to gain validation from others, which is very unhealthy. You don't need validation from anyone but yourself. You are valuable and worthy and enough on your own. And it's easier said than done for some people like me to really internalize that. But I feel like I have internalized that, and really the only thing left for me is just choosing whatever I want to do. Really, what do I want to do? Maybe I always thought I wanted to be someone who was only working on my art projects for myself, only working on things like my newsletter, my website, my YouTube channel, my webtoon, my art business, Artist Alley ventures, Maybe that's just what I think I want, and it's not what I actually want. I certainly want those things in a sense, but I don't want them so much that I sacrifice valuable time that I have with the people I love to get those things, which is strange. It feels weird to say that because I feel like a lot of the artists that I look up to and admire, one of the things they tend to talk about is how singularly focused they are on any given project or thing that they're working on, especially webtoon artists. I mean, that basically has to become your life, your baby, if you want to have a chance of getting it done. And I do want to do that, but I don't want to rush it, and I don't feel any rush about it, really. Life is nuts, and anything can change at any moment. I want to prioritize being with my loved ones, my little community, supporting them, and also garnering support from them for my stuff. I don't really want to be somebody who does everything alone. It's fine to do some things alone. It's fine to do a lot of things alone. I feel like I'm finally in a place where I'm just really genuinely enjoying the company of people around me and just feeling more okay with myself and not feeling like I have to prove myself and feeling just really connected in a way that I haven't in a long time. It's hard because I thought I knew what this video was going to be about. I really thought I was going to say, I need to prioritize myself and my goals, and it's like, it is true, but it's also, maybe I'm just thinking of priority in a different way. Priority doesn't mean I give up on other things. It just means that even if it's what's most important to me, but it's not so important that I sacrifice the other things in my life that bring me joy. And maybe it just means that I'll never really get to all the places that I imagine because I can't focus long enough on anything to get far with these big ambitions and dreams that I have. And maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay that I just take my sweet little time and not feel like I have to achieve so much. Maybe the lesson I really needed to learn this week is that I have a lot of goals, yes, but I also just put too much pressure on myself. And regardless of what I'm doing, I need to just slow down and appreciate and be grateful for what I have, the joys I do get to experience, because there's so much darkness in the world. I am blessed and privileged enough to get to experience moments of joy with people in my life. And my art is so important to me, but the things I do with others are just as important to me, I think. I don't know. Maybe my identity is kind of reframing. I always thought or wanted to think of myself as an artist first, and so whenever I felt like I was failing to be that, I would really beat myself up. But maybe the true meaning of being an artist or a creative is allowing yourself to evolve and express that part of yourself in different ways and not feeling like you need to follow the exact same path that other artists do. Because it's ultimately how I've been imagining it. I just think about other artists who've achieved the things that I dream of, the things that I think I want. Maybe I want them. And I think about how I'm not doing that. I'm not measuring up in the sense of really staying focused on a singular thing. But I also think I'm just taking this time to set up systems and foundations that could maybe help me get there at some point. And I'm trying to have fun along the way. I am okay with my goals taking a long time. I am okay with doing a lot of other things on the side while I'm also pursuing my goals, because I enjoy those things I do on the side because they're with my friends and I love my friends and I love supporting them and collaborating with them in many ways. I think it's just a matter of shifting my habits. My habit is that if there's something to do with friends, I'll do it first. I'll do it first and I'll spend extensive amounts of times on it. I'm not used to just doing my own thing. I'd like to balance both. I want to find a balance between my own projects and the things and the projects I do with others, because they're both important. I can't take on too many side projects, of course. I could give them all up, but I think it would make me a less well-rounded artist in a way. I feel inspired and fueled by these things that I do with my friends. And so I still want it to be part of my life. I just need to make certain that if I have other things going on, that I also prioritize those things. I'm really glad that we watched that movie. It was so good. Please watch it. It was so good. I really loved it. I want to see more YouTube movie commentators talking about it, please. It feels extra inspiring because I'm well, actually, I was going to say something about my webtoon, but it would also spoil stuff about the movie. So I'll just leave it at that. I think it's inspiring ways I want to portray certain characters and plot points in my webtoon. I think that's it. Good luck to Elena editing all these clips together. I don't know how you're going to craft a narrative. I keep shifting myself all over the place. Good luck. And we're back. It's the day before I'm supposed to upload this video, and I've pretty much edited all of it. I'm still technically working on the art that I'm gonna put in the video too, but that'll be in there already, not your problem. It's feeling pretty meta. I know this video isn't as like intricately edited as it usually is. I don't know if anybody even notices all the work I put in editing. It's mostly for me, so it's fine. Yeah, it's okay if we start off the year on kind of a lower note quality-wise. It can only go up. We can only go up from here. But with that being said, I think this is wrapped up kind of nicely doing these video diaries. I don't think it was good that I was overthinking the video, but I do think having these messages for myself and looking over it again was really helpful for me. I realized it's like clearly as I was recording these little diary entries, it wasn't just about the newsletter. I was thinking about so many other things in my life, and I kind of just want to summarize and come to a conclusion here at the end, like it's an essay. Basically, I have recognized that I've had a bad habit of prioritizing projects that involve other people, friends, etc. I feel that I've used those responsibilities as an excuse to neglect my own work, and that's not anybody else's fault but mine. It is my responsibility to create boundaries around what I can or can't do outside of my art, and it's my responsibility to make sure that my art and my art goals are a priority in the first place. Right now, I'm launching my newsletter, and I do hope that you'll subscribe to it because I'll be spending that time to talk a lot about my main goal for this first chunk of the year, which is to launch my webtoon in May for Mermaid, because it's a psychological thriller / Yuri romance about a mermaid and a human girl. I was looking back at how much I'd gotten done on it last year when I'd started, and I'm so impressed with myself with how much work I had put into it, and it was a short period of time, but it was a time where I was working on it consistently, and I really, really focused on it. And it was too intense. Like, I was pretty unhappy otherwise, but when I was just in the flow of not pressuring myself about it and just working on it a little bit at a time consistently, I was having a great time. And I remember I was having a great time. And I really want to do it again, but this time actually get to a finishing point where I can start uploading it. I'm excited to do that, and I'm excited to talk about it, share in progress updates in a quick way on my newsletter, and just see what people think about it once I do upload it. It's really exciting. And in regards to all the other things I have going on the side, like talking about things with my friends, I was basically referring to just having a social life in general. Like I said, there's a lot of artists that I look up to and admire, and a lot of them talk about basically not having a social life. And frankly, I don't want that to be me. I'm still an introvert. I stay inside most of the time, but it is important to me to have time that I spend with others intentionally. So I'm not going to give that up, frankly, and I'm not going to give up creating things with others either. I'm on a dance team. I'm helping Dolce with marketing, and I have my little Cherry Cube Crafts team with my friends Kina and Kayla. We've been doing Artist Alley together, and all those things are just as important to me as my art goals, or at least they're pretty close. Maybe it's a 60-40 percentage split. I need to stop recording so I can finish editing this video, because this will be the end of the video. I'm sorry this video is so weird. Here is my outro message. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate any support I get. I appreciate anyone who signs up to the newsletter especially. It means so much that you want to hear more about my art and my thoughts and everything, really. There's so much, I'm trying to stay focused. There's so much I want to say, but you'll hear about all those excess thoughts through my newsletter. I promise I won't over email too. I know I talk a lot, but I promise I will not spam you with my musings. I feel like my videos tend to wrap up with almost like a Saturday morning cartoon lesson, and I don't know if I have a lesson here, except really, you don't need to overthink things. you can just do things, which I think has been a lesson I've said in a lot of my videos, but it's a lesson I'm constantly having to learn over and over again. It's not bad to think about things, but it's not good to have your thoughts and your anxieties and your fears stall you from taking action. And that applies literally everywhere in life. Don't doom scroll. Make stuff. My message to you is to not get too into your head, not get too into your phone. Try to get into doing the thing. That being said, also try to balance it with a healthy dose of anti-hustle culture. I'm saying do the thing, but I'm not saying to overwork yourself and that you need to go out of your way to achieve so much stuff. Clearly, I'm feeling so much better now that I'm letting go of this need to achieve and be successful in an art career. My only goal is to just take action, and I don't need to reach a certain spot. It's just to take one step after the other, to go on the journey, to be on the journey. That's the goal. And if you're doing that, then that's all you need to do. And I know I'm saying that, and I'm not perfect. I don't always show up that way. I often get into my head. I often freeze. I am flawed, and that's okay. It is okay to be flawed, because you are too, because nobody's perfect. Hannah Montana, I need to stop talking. I need to finish editing this video, and I'm gonna put it out into the world, and then I'm gonna work on the next thing. I'm gonna work on my webtoon. Please drink water, get lots of sleep, and pursue creativity in whatever way you can, because you deserve to be creative and to have joy. Lots of love. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.